The Sony Xperia S is the company's first phone since parting ways with Ericsson. Featuring a 12-megapixel camera and HD screen, it certainly ticks some of the right boxes, but is it the complete package? While starting as ever with the design, we find this phone just a little underwhelming. It's reasonably smart, and we quite like the clear section at the bottom that glows and flashes when the phone is unlocked or gets a notification. But silly little things mar the overall impression. The plastic back has this seam all the way around it. It's there to allow the back to slide off, but it also gives the phone a cheaper look. It's less noticeable on the black version of the handset, but is still there. Pointless plastic flaps also cover the micro HDMI and micro USB ports. Fair enough for the seldom used HDMI perhaps, but the micro USB will be used to charge the phone every day. Beyond that, the phone gets few things wrong. The volume and camera buttons are easy to reach, headphone jack and power button are present and correct, and the whole phone feels nice in the hand. It is quite big and the corners a bit sharp, but it's certainly not as unwieldy as some of the massive handsets around today. Onto that screen, it's a 4.3-inch LCD panel with a resolution of 720 by 1280 pixels. This is a marked step up in resolution from most previous handsets by any manufacturer, with only a couple of handsets currently equalling or beating it. The difference is noticeable too, with more able to fit on screen and everything looking sharper too. It's not perfect though, as viewing angles aren't all that great. You'd cope, but there are certainly better examples. Internally, you've got a dual-core 1.5 GHz chip keeping things ticking over. It may not be the absolute fastest chip around, but it keeps the phone reasonably sprightly. The operating system, meanwhile, is Android 2.3, but an update to 4.0 is on the cards. Sony hasn't mucked about too much with the interface, tweaking a few elements and adding in a few features. The 5 home screens come loaded with widgets such as the Quick Settings tool, Social Network Reader and Video Player. You also get access to Sony's 2 big-name features, its Music Unlimited and Video Unlimited services, which provide streaming music and video respectively. With Sony's vast library of films and music, these are genuinely useful tools. For the most part though, we find the widget versions of all these tools of limited benefit, so tend to tear them out and replace them with apps instead. The selection of apps here is the usual Android fare, with great email, web browsing, mapping, contacts management, calendar and phone basics. Jump into the App Store and you're only just trailing the iPhone now for the sheer quantity of apps on offer. All told, as a smartphone, we can find few faults. But what of that fancy camera? Well, it's a bit of a disappointment. Yes, in some well-lit shots you can make out the extra detail over 8-megapixel models, but the overall quality is still very grainy. Moreover, low light performance is awful. The LED flash is underpowered and the metering clearly struggles to judge things correctly. On the flip side, performance is excellent, with you able to fire off loads of photos in quick succession. And we must praise the addition of a proper button for the camera, which also loads the app from standby. All told though, while the Sony Xperia S is clearly a very capable modern smartphone, it just lacks that certain pizzazz to set it apart. A good but not spectacular effort.